if you're serious, if you really want to win, take a look at this. Trevor Bauer says Blake Snell is going to get hundreds of millions of dollars on a multi-year deal. And he should. He deserves it. For a team that doesn't want to commit multi-years, hundreds of millions of dollars or many elite prospects for a Cy Young Award winner, they could sign me for league. Let me just open that up. Can you see it?
Yep.
They could sign me for league minimum and pay zero incremental dollars over what they have to pay their roster spot anyway. Just another option for teams that want to win and don't want to break the bank. That's a perfect signing for Farhan.
It's not. Because they don't want to win right now.
That's the point.
Problem.
Yeah. Trevor Bauer is willing to play on Gary Sheffield Jr. on an incentive-based contract with league minimum guarantees and is liked by teammates despite the media continuing to lie otherwise. That's risk-free. Signing a player fans perhaps dislike is not a risk. They aren't going anywhere long-term. I think Bauer would be on great behavior.
There's no way they touch him with a 10-foot pole.
Not in San Francisco.
No.
And, it's ridiculous because San Francisco is supposed to be, I thought the Bay Area was the land of enlightenment, enchantment. Everybody's free to be who they are. And there's
It's because what he was accused of.
But he wasn't.
Yeah, I know, but that's what
it
is.
He was accused. Yeah.
That's the reason.
Yeah. I mean, you also have politicians that have been accused of stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Too.
I know. Yeah. I'm not going to get out. We could go down the rabbit hole on that one, but
I'm just saying.
I'll tell you what pisses me off. And you kind of hit on it a little bit. Because as Giants fans, we're a little bit confused. And the reason why I say we're a little bit confused, you got the president of baseball operations saying out there, hey, we're going to be shopping at the top of the food chain for starting pitchers. We're going to no money is no object. Said that 2 years ago. He says also all these things like they're going to go out there and make some big moves. When in reality, it's not. That's the furthest from the truth. So he's lying to our faces as a fan base. You get excited as a fan base, right? You get excited as a fan base because you think that he's going to go do something when in reality, they're playing the margins. They're playing us. And I don't like that. And I think that's a bunch of crap. I don't like that crap.
Right. Matthew says the problem with Bauer isn't his crimes, but his sloppiness in his opinion. Baseball is a family game. Who wants to take their kid to a game and they look up at Bauer on their phone and ask about the reports? Well, I think, here's where I am with Bauer. I've listened to him. He's remorseful. He's been humbled. He's willing to, do community service. You watch what the guy does. He's actually got some really good ideas with baseball. He was running around in a Walmart or some box store asking people if they wanted to play catch. Yeah. He's just, I think the guy's misunderstood. And yes, he's also created a lot of that himself. But I think one of the things that is important to realize is when guys have made mistakes and they so-called repent and turn about and go a different direction, those can be some of your best ambassadors. Bauer is not going to pop off because he's going to lose his last opportunity to ever play in the major leagues again if he blows it.
And there could be some blackballing going on by the league. Maybe the league is telling teams, "Hey, we don't want to see this guy get." It's possible. You never know. But
now Bauer doesn't need a public relations guy to he's smart enough to know what he's doing. He's out there. He's been making comments. The guy's very well spoken.
That's a
he's
good point,
confident. What's that? I'm sure there's more about the Dodgers know a lot more than we do, and they are in the win mold. No, I don't think the Dodgers would sign him at this point just because they turned a corner when it would organizations, you have to realize it makes them look bad if they all of a sudden turn around. Oh, we totally dropped him, and then if we take him back,
but they still paid him when they dropped him, right?
Yes, and if they take him back, it could be open up for a lawsuit because it was like wrongful firing. You obviously
wrongful termination, something
wrongful
like that,
termination. If I'm the Dodgers, I wouldn't touch that based on what they have and their ability to go out and get basically whoever they want. I think that's the issue with it. But someone like the Giants, I'm surprised like the Yankees don't go after Bauer. I guess
Texas.
Yeah, Texas could do it. I think,
Yeah.
That's a state that would handle that.
And I think Bochy could keep him under control to an extent. And he's got veterans there. Scherzer.
Everybody Mookie Betts loves the guy. The guy made some stupid choices by allowing groupies into his house. He was thinking with the wrong head. He was basically, he made big mistakes. But how many guys in sports get all these second chances? I mean, look at how about the guy Joe Mixon for the Bengals? I could play a video of you of Joe Mixon, and you would say, well, why should this guy ever get a chance to play again for what he did?
Was that he the one that knocked out his girlfriend in an elevator?
Yeah, no, that was Rice.
Adrian Peterson. He got shipped off. He's done.
Here, let me show you something with Joe Mixon. This is a video off YouTube. We could show this, right? It's just off of other people's.
Huh. I was playing stuff on other people's stuff too, and I got shut down, man.
Well, let me see. Hold on. We'll just hold on here. I mean, I hate to bring up something that old, but can you see the video?
Yeah.
I'll just
mute it. I see.
I'll just mute it. All right. This is Joe Mixon in college, guys. And looked like he was in a restaurant or some cafeteria, restaurant or whatever. And this guy was given a second chance. Watch what he does here. Boom.
Oh.
Knocked her out. All right. So NFL didn't have a problem with that. I mean, Joe Mixon is actually a good guy. He's from my cousin.
Mike says Oakley.
Yeah, my cousin actually knows him. Went to high school with him.
That's not. That's not. Oof, I don't know, man.
But nobody talks about it now.
That's nuts. I mean, come on.
But he got a second chance. He's supposed to. He lost his cool. I mean,
I get losing your cool, but man, when you're
I don't agree.
Woman,
I don't.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like it at all. But the bottom line is, what did Bauer do? He had physical relations,
right?
Weird stuff, supposedly that I don't even. understand all the whatever stuff he was into and this girl, but she accuses him of beating her face in, and we got video that was withheld from the trial that shows the video of her smiling in bed next to Bauer, who's got these covered over his face to block the light, a mask, eye mask or whatever. He doesn't even know the video is being taken. She's laying there videotaping herself, smiling, and not a mark on her. And they go to trial, and this stuff's withheld. Once it's discovered that stuff was out, he was totally set up. He didn't hurt her. I don't agree with whatever his choices, whatever, but
right.
That's between two adults. Okay. So why is he being kept out of the game for not, he's actually suing others that have gone after him for maligning his character. Truth. Don says about Julio Arias. That's a little different. Again, that's an spousal abuse situation, domestic violence, which is not the first case either. Not the first time.
I think he was involved in the stuff with Kapler, right? That Kapler covered up back then, possibly.
Maybe in the minors. Yeah. What is Matthew saying? Can't compare Bauer to anyone who didn't have the sexual component. There's violence, and then there's people who are turned on by it sexually. She lied, but admitted to being turned on by the violence. Yeah. I don't see, Bauer says, I've never hurt anybody, nor would I hurt anybody. I don't think he's like a crazed guy that's out there punching women or abusing women. And yet, and he was smart enough to keep all the text, got the videos, has all the text out there. Like I say, I'm not a huge, I don't know enough about Bauer to say I'm a big fan of his or I dislike him. I'm kind of neutral. But I think I would be more on the side of this guy's a gamer. You need pitching, San Francisco. You have no innings eaters. You're talking major league minimum for a guy who could be worth like a $30 million pitcher. Why would you not take a chance? The public relations, whatever, you can address that by saying, look, we considered all these things. We looked at everything. We did a thorough background check. He was found to be not guilty. And we believe not only not guilty, he's innocent. And Trevor could speak to it. He could become a community spokesperson, which he wants to do. He wants to, help in the community. He wants to bring young kids into the game. I think it would be a perfect signing for them. Maybe not to mess up the mood for the clubhouse. It's not going to mess up the mood, Mike. He's well liked by his players, his teammates, very well liked.
Good point, Aaron.
Yeah. Why isn't anyone taking a chance? Because they're scared of the PR.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what, baseball's a little different mentality than football and basketball. It's more family oriented, as somebody said earlier. It's more, let's just be honest, it's more rural.
Yeah.
Right? It's a rural sport. Rural people are paying the ticket prices a lot.
It used to be a city, but it still kind of is in New York.
it should be baseball. If they got their act together, they would be pumping money into the sport in the cities where the top athletes are, and getting these kids, they don't market themselves well at all. Um, you know, Senior says he's 33 and out of shape according to the latest video. I don't think you can look at somebody's a pitcher and look at his stomach and say out of shape. Look at Rick Russell. Look at Johnny Cueto. Look at
Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah, there's a lot of pitchers that got
a little bit of boiler.
They got a boiler. I mean, shoot, how about wouldn't Julio Urias had a little bit of
now
a boiler?
This makes sense. Most teams don't think the risk reward isn't good enough. That I can see.
I think it is, though, for a good team that needs a pitcher. I mean, like the Yankees. Yankees. Northern Lights Entertainment says, "Can I bring up the stats?" Yeah, we could bring up the stats.
There you go.
For Bauer. I mean, we're probably not going to get. We don't have anything for a couple of years on him, right?
Yeah, it's going to be 2 years. So I think his last year was what, 21 then?
I mean, we got
halfway through 21.
We got in Japan last year. I don't think they'll show those stats. There we go, guys. 21, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the ERA, 2.59, 107 innings pitched. He had 137 Ks, 37 walks. He was pitching really good for LA. I mean, that was the year. I mean, I was kind of, as a Giants fan, we were all happy that he wasn't going to be there because they were, competing for the championship with the title with the Giants. But I mean, if we look at his overall body of his career, 162 game average, 203 innings pitched, so he eats up innings. He's a lot of strikeouts. ERA is under 4. I mean, I just think you're getting I mean, we're talking, we know it's not going to happen. I mean, we've talked about a lot of things that the Giants could do, but they're not going to do. So,
and honestly, the direction the Giants are going, it makes no sense to sign him because they're not doing anything. What are you going to sign him to a 1-year contract and then it doesn't do nothing? The Giants aren't doing nothing.
I don't understand the whole point of, I get it if he was found, let's say that the narrative out there was still, we don't know really what happened.
And that's another thing that I think that's pissing off the MLB. He's the one that brought up the sticky stuff, remember?
Right, exactly.
So I think it's just a few things I think out there that's creating issues for Mr. Bauer, unfortunately. I mean, like you said, though, a lot of it was his own doing, but.
Right. But like I said, I think a guy who's,
I agree. And I think that he should be able to have a chance somewhere. I just don't think Giants.
Somebody said sign him to a minor league contract. Yeah, get him out there. Let him pitch. I mean, I think somebody signs him at some point this year. I think somebody gets desperate when a pitcher goes down.
When a pitcher goes down in spring training, yep.
And they realize, crap, our whole season could just tank,
especially
right here.
If it's a competitor.
Yeah, if it's a Yankees or
Atlanta.
Shoot, I wonder if Arizona would take a shot at him. That's where he started his career. Started in Arizona.
Right, you're right. He did.
But anyway, I mean, I guess the bottom line, the point is back to our subject at hand. I don't think the Giants are that serious about
Not
winning.
winning. Right. And that
Winning.